Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Soulful Eclectic. I am none other than your host, Dr. Diana Collins, and I want to welcome you to today's episode. Today, I am rocking the two braids because I felt like the little girl in me wanted to come out today. So I let her come out for a little while. And plus, it's relevant to today's episode, too, talking about our inner our inner child. But before we get into that, I want to thank you all for joining me today. So if this is the first time that you're joining me, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out this evening to listen. If you're listening on the day of the episode, thank you. If you're listening later, I appreciate you for remembering that I exist and that you're going to take that time to give me that courtesy and listen, and I appreciate you. So thank you. And if you are returning, I extend that same courtesy to you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you all so much who've been rocking with me for 10 seasons now. 10 seasons. It's wild that I've been doing this for 10 seasons, but you know what? I enjoy it. I enjoy getting out there. This is something that I did not think it would be something I would enjoy doing, but it actually is. And it kind of feeds the introvert in me. So I thank you guys for rocking with me for all this time. And I appreciate WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV for allowing me the opportunity to grace the screen for them and give them another talk show that is on their site, on their radio and TV station. So if you have not downloaded your app on Roku or Apple or Google Play, I'm going to say so, do so right away. It's an international radio station and TV station. As of right now, the TV station is only on Roku, and also the Apple and Google app has the radio station. So download it, get some good tunes. We got some oldies, some newbies, and some never heard before. So that is the best thing about WUBI. If you are a new entertainer, you got a film that you want to get shown, a TV series that you've created, or even you got a song, an album that you want to get played, come reach out to us at wubi.live, and one of us will get back to you and we will sit with you and see what we could do. All right. If you got an educational series that you want to put up there and you want to do like a pay-per-view kind of thing, we got that option too. Don't worry about it. We got you, boo. Okay. We got you. So just reach out to us and we get you squared away. We got a rock solid team at WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. And I'm not just saying that because I am part of the team, but we have a rock solid team. And I'm so grateful for DJ Balo, Moni, and Seth for having me be a part of the team. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But yes, if you have not downloaded your apps on Roku or Apple or Google Play, I highly would suggest that you do so right away. And while we're on the subject of subscribers and promoters and supporters, um, I would definitely like to thank a few of my lovely, um, I don't want to call them well, they are stakeholders and shareholders in my opinion. I believe so, right? I mean, they invest in what we're doing and what I'm doing, and so yeah, I just want to shout them out. So I'm gonna just shout out a few. Let me see who I can shout out today. Uh, Yay, here we are. So I want to shout out Divine Nubian Essentials, loving the skin that we are in. And I really do hope this is playing properly. But yes. So here we have Divine Nubian Essentials. You can go on and subscribe and buy and do all these things. These lovely individuals are all um users. Is for all the skin. If you have skin, you are in. Black, white, green, doesn't matter. Your dog, honestly, and I say that in jest, but I truly mean even your animals can utilize Divine Nubian Essentials. It's a great product from diaper to diaper. And yeah, so love the skin you're in. So I totally buy into it. I love it, and I appreciate Divine Nubian Essentials and their support of the soulful eclectic. I just lost my words right there. Also, I like to thank Collins Education Resource Management, because they are out here doing their best to help our students stay engaged in their education, whether it's healthcare that you're going into as a CNA, home health aide, hospice, palliative, nurse practitioner, you're getting your BS in, or if you just starting and you're just getting in the door and you're getting your RN or LPN, whatever it is, Collins Education Resource Management is there to help you navigate and be successful. We also help you with your NCLEX prep and your NCLEX prep plan, and also help those who are navigating getting their advanced practice degree as far as their nurse practitioner as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you to Collins Education Resource Management. And also, I will love to share our podcast website. I don't know if you guys have ventured into our website and actually looked at what is happening on our podcast website, but there's a lot happening there. Not only can you listen to past episodes, but also you can go in here and learn about who we are, what we do, who our sponsors are, which is really, really great. We have a book you can purchase, Reset and Relaunch by Becoming, which is a anthology set of authors, myself included, who are sharing their story on how they became the entrepreneurs that they are today. Um, Also, Divine Nubian Essentials, as I pointed out, Unapologetically Beast is another one, which is great. Victoria, love her. She's doing amazing things with women networking and building up veteran females, and being our best. And then, of course, WUBI, Ubiquity Radio and TV, are also one of our sponsors. But we have a blog too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with our community blog, but our community blog is where I share writings and spoken word, or even a song written by someone in the community. And if you would like your song, your poems, your spoken word to be showcased, just reach out to me. We're happy to do that. As you can see, we have one of our past guests, Miss Zoe Thomas, up there, and she had this beautiful, let's be honest, poem that she spoke. It's a spoken word that she wrote herself, and I was so moved by it. So it is on our blog for you to listen to, and also several different writings that I have done. So there is that. You have a way to reach us. If you ever want to be a guest on our show, please feel free to reach out. I get back to everyone so that we can get you set up and we can get you on the show. Let us know what you're talking about. As long as it's positive and we're uplifting and you're being your authentic self, that is all we are asking. All right. So there's not much in the shop yet because I'm not a seller of things, but the book is in the shop should you decide you want to purchase Reset and Relaunch by Becoming. Now, I do want to give a special shout out to our house author, Miss Reggie Dupree. Now, I cannot tell you how many times I have read her book. If you have not listened to her episode, you can go back and listen to her episode. I think it was season 8. But if not, she will be returning to our show probably in the fall, only because we're all traveling, doing things. So just scheduling kind of thing is going on. So I know she's got some new things, some new writings that she has been a part of and that she's doing. So I would love to just check in and see where she is. But if you have not read Hoodoo Heaven, Return to Hoodoo, Mystical Midlife Mate, you really need to dive in. It is fantasy fiction for us, grown and sexy. So just to let you know, it is a little bit of a provocative read. So if that is not your jam, then please do not pick up her book and say, oh my God, I don't like this. Why did you make me read? No, 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 no. As I said, it's an adult fantasy read, and if that's not your jam, then go ahead to your lane. Nobody's mad at it. It is what it is. But I love it because it has embraced everybody in her writing. Every community has been touched by her writing in this book. So Hoodoo, Return to Hoodoo, Mystical Midlife Mate, and Midlife Gumbo. I'm telling you, I love them. I've read them twice already. I have not got my hands on Midlife Gumbo yet, but now that I have the time, I'm going to go back and reread all of them again, just so I can catch you back up to Midlife Gumbo. So yeah, so that I really wanted to share that with you all so that you got a chance to really see what is happening and what we're doing here at the Soulful Eclectic. I love that I get to be this authentic space with you, but I also like to share what's going on in the community as well with you. So there is that. As well. And as far as community, I don't just mean community here in Tucson, Arizona, but also around the world, right? So now, and actually today, is it today? Yes. So now we're preparing to go to Chicago for the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People convention. So if you are not familiar with the NAACP, it's a civil rights organization that is built to help everyone maintain their sense of civil rights. And it began with us as people of color, but it has spanned out so far that we can't change that C in colored because it embraces all shades of us. All of us are impacted by the civil rights work that the NAACP puts forth. So to say that it only benefits Black people or African Americans is just so wrong, because so many great things for all of us who have been victims of incivility or had our civil rights damaged or taken away, or even not even respected. They have been to the forefront. So I'm just going to share their site with you all for a sec. I think I never stopped sharing my screen apparently. So you guys saw all that mix up stuff that I was doing. So I do apologize as I was trying to find the website. If you saw me navigating that, which I'm sure you did, because I did not stop sharing my screen. And my bad. I do apologize for that. So I'm just going to share my window. That is this to win. Yay. Got it. All right. So this is the 117th NAACP National Convention that I will be attending. As you can see, it is in Chicago at the McCormick Place West building. So if you are in Chicago, Illinois, please drop by. But it is definitely something to be a part of. If you're not part of the NAACP in your community, in your state, I would advise and probably behoove you to reach out and see if you can become a member. It's $30 a year, but you also have opportunities for lifetime membership and things of that such. We also have the Youth and College Division for those of our young ones who are looking to be active in the community and activists and for civil rights. That is there. We also have the young kids with our AXO competitions that they can do, and it's a beautiful thing. And what AXO stands for is the Afro Academic Cultural Technological and Scientific Olympics. It is so amazing. I just love just seeing what all of the young people are doing, and they win scholarships and prizes, and they just get nationally recognized. And it's an honor for them to present their projects and their paintings and their dancing, singing. It's just so much food. Oh my gosh, the food is amazing. So if you're in Chicago and you want to come to the NAACP convention, it is going to start on the 18th of this month to the 23rd. So, and again, if you're not a member and you're thinking that maybe that's something you want to do, I would say give it a shot. Go for it, right? So yeah, so those are the things, as you can see, that we have happening. And I'm so sorry, you get to see all my background stuff and what's happening. And I'm just gonna, there we go. Yeah, there we are. That is me in my authentic skin. Okay, that's just, and no, I am not going to take the time to edit it out. You're gonna see all the hard work that I put into putting the show together. That's it. Because like I said, I am a crew of one. So what you see is what you get. But that's okay. I love it. I present to you who I am in my entirety, and the greatness, the flaws, the whimsicalness. This is me. One day I am all the way up here, la 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 la, and next minute I'm like, let's get down to business. So it all depends. Right. So yeah. So before we get into the show, now that I've done all the business end of everything, we're gonna take a quick little break. Hey everyone, Dr. Diana Collins here with the Soulful Eclectic, a podcast about being your authentic self and maintaining your health and wellness, brought to you by Divine Nubian Essentials, Love the Skin You're In, and also Collins Education Resource Management, where healthcare education is our passion. If you're looking for a new read, check out our friend Reggie Dupree in Hoodoo Heaven, Return to Hoodoo, and Mystical Midlife Mate, because everything is happening in Hoodoo, brought to you by WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. If you have not downloaded your app on Roku or Apple or Google Play, do so right away. The Soulful Eclectic can be found every Friday night, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on all your podcast streaming platforms, WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. So, see you soon. Namaste. All right. Thank you for all of that. It gave me a moment to get myself together. Just a little bit, just to find what I'm doing. So yeah, so that's all the great things that we have going on here at WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV and the Soulful Eclectic. So thank you guys all for taking the time out to be a part of the conversation and the story, and just sharing. And so thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who have shared and reached out and sent me messages about episodes that have resonated with you, and how you shared it with different folks. And I greatly appreciate it. So today, this one is going to be another reflective episode where we explore what it really means to become the person you once needed, right? I've been doing a lot of reflection about, my youth and what I've gone through. How did I get to this? Because by all means, Dr. Diana Collins was definitely not something that I envisioned for myself, a little girl growing up on Bushwick Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. And that's old Bushwick, not gentrified Bushwick Ave. So single young mom. Yeah, so this is definitely, I don't even think this was me. This me that's here is something that I've ever written down in a diary or ever thought of. I mean, yes, I did say that I was going to become a doctor. Actually, I was planning to be an OBGYN. So there is that. So I guess I did have some sort of inclination, but didn't know exactly what it would look like. And I guess that's part of God's plan, right? It's not for us to know, it's just us to navigate it and take it as, the steps as we go along. So I guess in all fairness, how would I know? But like I said, I've been having some reflective moments, and so in this episode, it just prompted me to really talk about that and how did we become, or what it means to become the person you once needed. And with that, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, the person I am today is the person I needed back then. Um, but it's also the person that I am presenting to those around me, my children included, because I know I needed that person at that time. So I'm being the person that I needed for them. So through the storytelling that I do, and this deep soulful insightfulness and insight that I have, I unpack that healing part, right? That self-compassion, the in the power that's in there. And I see it for myself when I show up for myself. And as you are showing up for yourself in ways you may not have experienced growing up. Right. So you think about that. You're showing up for yourself in ways that probably no one could ever have imagined for you. Nothing that you could have imagined for you, right? So, um, we in this episode, I want to invite all of you, all my listeners, my watchers, to kind of embrace the journey, your journey. Okay, not someone else's. You can't ride in someone else's lane. Maybe we could tiptoe over there, but we can use it to shift back and forth to our lane. But we should not be riding in someone else's lane, because that's their journey. That doesn't speak for you. So even though you may be taking the same path, going in the same direction, what that journey looks like on their lane is not the same as your lane. So it's really hard to do that comparison, right? So I want you to embrace your journey, honor that inner child that's there, and step into a more intentional version of yourself, right? A space where we tell the truth about healing and growth and becoming, right? That's the space that I have I hope that I have created here at the Soulful Eclectic, right? A space where we tell the truth about healing, growth, and becoming. It's not easy. It's a constant journey. I mean, I'm constantly on the journey of healing, and every now and then a scab will itch a little bit, or I'll look down and I'll see a wound that I'm like, oh, that's still there, or a scar. But you know, we're gonna, just today we're just gonna have a heart conversation, not hard, but it may be hard, but it's a loving conversation. We're gonna talk about becoming who you needed, all right, when you were younger. Yes, becoming who you needed when you were younger. All right. So we have a little bit of underlying there, right? The unspoken truth of things, right? There is a version of you that you needed. What does that look like to you? What does that version of you that you needed look like to you? And if you are so inclined, write it down. There's a version of you that you needed. What does that look like to you? Is it somebody who um, could have been more understanding? Is it somebody that, could have been more patient with you, right? Because we all could have used that understanding and patience, I'm sure. And maybe somewhere down the line, there was a version of you that needed more safety. Yeah, that's a one that I don't think as a child we think about, because we automatically assume that those around us are going to provide that safety for us. And when that doesn't happen, how can we ourselves protect ourselves and give ourselves that safety, you know? Um, More information, yes, right? That's what it looks like to you? Somebody who feeds that information to you. If you ask a question, give you that information. Ah, more information. And it just hit me. Affirmation. Oh, validation, right? Is that something that you needed? I know for me, that was something I needed. I needed more affirmation and validation. There was no one validating me as a person. Understanding, no, I didn't get that either. But as far as affirmation and um what did I just say? Affirmation. Oh my gosh. And I was gonna say adoration, but because I now I'm rhyming words, but um definitely affirmation, validation. That's what I was saying. Validation. Um and maybe they didn't get it, right? They didn't always get that. So you being that person, right? What do you that version of you that you needed more of can give you that understanding, patience, safety, affirmation, validation. And maybe they didn't always get it. And maybe that person you're looking for it from didn't have it, and you yourself didn't know, right? So not because you didn't care, or not, or people didn't care about you. Let me just fix my words. It wasn't because people didn't care about you or me or whatever. It's because sometimes people can only give from where they are at that moment, and I had to learn that. Yes, that's part of that healing, to forgive those parts of you so that you can move on. I'm not saying forget, because you're never going to forget, because you still have those scars. Okay. So you're not going to forget, but you are going to forgive, because a person who doesn't know how to give you those understandings because they've never had it, or patience because they never had it, or safety and all those things, it's not because they didn't care. But sometimes it's just because they don't know, and that's where they are at the moment. And I have to say, when I got to that realization, it changed everything, and it will change everything. So that's why I thought I should share that with you, because I know some of us are out there struggling with the versions of us that live in other people's and our family members' mind. I'm going to just say our family, because it's mostly our family and friends. So a lot of our scars come from childhood things, right? The aces in our lives, right? Adverse childhood experiences that we've left behind, or we thought we left behind, but it's really at the root of that tree that is growing out, which is you. It's still there at the root, and it still sometimes feeds what's happening. So how are you going to become the person that you needed there? And it starts with realizing that it's not because people didn't care about who you are and what we were doing, but because sometimes they just can only give from where they are in life. And like I said, coming to that realization, it was like an epiphany. It's like, oh my gosh, that is so right, because they didn't know, right? So in that, I will share some of my personal reflections in my story, because there were moments in my life where I needed reassurance. I needed to learn how to self-soothe instead, and I didn't know how. And I was self-soothing in the wrong way. And that's, depending on who you are, can be damaging. It could be self-sabotaging. It can lead to some very um hurtful things that can happen in your life, right? And I'm as you see, I'm choosing my words carefully because, one, because I'm probably going to talk about some of that stuff down there, but also because it's just one of those things where when you're in the stage of healing that I am in, um I just want to make sure that I'm telling the story properly, or and given the correct energy, if that makes sense. But anyway, so there are those moments in life where I needed reassurance, where I was falling short, especially when it came to being the little girl that I was. I wasn't very pretty. As you guys can see, and I wore my hair like this on purpose because this is the way I always wore my hair back in the day. I always had two braids because I had really thick, coarse hair. And I tell you, I had big hair, and it was a challenge. So I always wore my hair like this, into braids. Um, Sometimes I had like a little bang in the front. It depended. Right. So this is a nostalgic hairstyle for me, and I did it on purpose. So that reassurance, because I didn't feel like I was very pretty. I was teased a lot. I had really, really bad acne. I know it's very hard to believe now because I do have, and I'm going to gloat on myself. Okay. I'm going to love on me. I have really great skin right now. As a child growing up, I did not have really great skin. I had the worst skin. Oh my gosh. The kids used to tease me. They called me Broadway, the human road bump. Yeah, it was fun. I was teased by my clothes because my uniforms were always purchased sizes bigger, because, my mom was raising kids on her own, single mom, going to school, doing her thing. So our clothes were my clothes were always a couple of sizes bigger so that I can grow into my uniform, so she didn't have to buy another uniform every year. But I did go to Catholic school. Um, which is another conversation in itself, brother. Um, but yes, but I didn't have that reassurance, that, or that validation that, you're a pretty girl, or you're doing great, your hair is beautiful, and all those validations that we pour into our children today, I did not get poured into me. Um, my ears, you see how my ears stick out, and I at the big age that I am, I'm just starting to really love the uniqueness of my ears. But I was called Spock. Remember Star Trek? Spock's ears. They used to call me Spock's daughter. So I was Spock for a little while. They call me ET. Hmm. Yeah, I had some good ones, some really good ones. So yes, I was really self-conscious about my ears for a while. And it's just, and even some days, to this day, some days, like, I know for a fact my hair is not going to stay like this for the rest of the day. I know it, because at some point I'm going to walk past the mirror and I'm going to look and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to pull my hair down and cover my ears, because that's just the way it always ends up. My hair will be up for a short period and then it'll come down, because again, those pieces of you still sit with you. Even though you're healing and I am this big person, you still walk by and I still see that little Diana, little D, going by that mirror, and it's like, I don't like it. Mm-mm. Right? So I needed that reassurance. I needed that hug. I needed that love. I just, and to this day, I still sometimes I still walk by and I'll just need that. Right. So I did not learn how to self-soothe properly. Yes. So I did learn how to self-soothe, but it wasn't the most positive way to self-soothe at all. I was one of those promiscuous young ladies who kind of, if you showed me love, you were in love with me and I loved you, kind of people. And I'm so grateful that I've grown into the woman that I am today, that I can just give that little version of me a hug and say, baby, you are okay. You did it. All right. And by the grace of God and all my ancestors, I made it to this. Right. And I thank them and I'm grateful for this every day. Okay. And I know there is something out there and someone out there bigger than me. There are moments where I needed someone to say, you're doing enough and that you are enough. Again, not until I was this big age where I started to really see me. I didn't start seeing me until I was 40. What the hell? And I was just going through the motions, had my kids, loving them, raising them, giving them all the love and making sure they were heard and they were seen and making sure I didn't do too much damage because it's inevitable. We're parents. We don't have a rule book to follow. So we're going to make some oopsie mistakes. Okay. And we just pray that those incidental mistakes do not cause so much harm. And we have no control on the amount of harm it causes because it's all in the perception of the individual that is there, right? So what may seem like a little oopsie, okay, you should have gotten over that moment, could be very big for someone else that it happened to. So it's not for me to say. But anyway, I digress. There are moments where I needed someone to say, you are doing enough. Because believe me, and guys, I think I got to this. Matter of fact, I don't even think, I know I got to this point because I was just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing because I needed to show people who doubted me that I am a force to be reckoned with. I am enough. But I always felt like I wasn't doing enough. So that's why I kept going, right? I kept getting degrees because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I know I'm going to need it at some point. So I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to keep going and keep going. So someone saying you're doing enough, right, may have made the difference. And it may not. It may have been, it may have given this ride that I'm on right now a little more cushion, right? When they say you're doing enough, you are enough. That could have been that heightened like dot on that I, that cross on that T, that's in that boost up that confidence when you walked in there. It's like, yep, because I know I'm enough. What's your point? Right? I feel that now. Absolutely. You couldn't come in here in my face and tell me I wasn't enough. I'm like, okay, I'm not enough for you. That's okay. I'm not for everyone, right? I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm okay with that. I've become okay with that. So getting that piece, right? And instead, like I said, I just pushed myself harder. I achieved. I showed up. And I performed. Who knew I was going to be an actual entertainer, performer, and all these things? I had no clue of that. I didn't know that was in my cards, but here I am. I pushed myself harder. I achieved. And as many times as I feel like I did myself a disservice by not showing up, honey, I showed up. I performed. But there's always that peace deep down where there was a younger version of me still waiting to be seen. Yeah. And then it's just like that epiphany, that light bulb go off. Boop. And one day I realized something powerful. I could become that person for myself. and you can become that person for yourself. Just saying. Let's take a break. Hey everyone, Dr. Diana Collins here with the Soulful Eclectic, a podcast about being your authentic self and maintaining your health and wellness, brought to you by Divine Nubian Essentials, Love the Skin You're In, and also Collins Education Resource Management, where healthcare education is our passion. If you're looking for a new read, check out our friend Reggie Dupree in Hoodoo Heaven, Return to Hoodoo, and Mystical Midlife Mate, because everything is happening in Hoodoo, brought to you by WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. If you have not downloaded your app on Roku or Apple or Google Play, do so right away. The Soulful Eclectic can be found every Friday night, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on all your podcast streaming platforms, WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. So, see you soon. Namaste. All right. So, now, after taking a breather, because that was heavy, I had to dig a little bit. And like I said, this is a show about being your authentic self. So there you are. What does it mean to reparent yourself? Reparent yourself. I know. I thought about it too, and I didn't realize in my own way that's what I was doing. I was reparenting myself. I was re-raising the version of me that's currently here, right? I was becoming who I needed, right? And becoming who you need isn't about blaming the past. Let me just get that out there. I am not blaming anyone. It's not my mama's fault, my grandma, my aunts, uncles, it's none of their fault. This is not about being blaming or shaming. Absolutely not. My mom is great. She did everything that she could within her power with what she had and who she was that day. Okay. I'm not holding anyone accountable for who I am except for me, because I had to learn how to reparent myself. And what did that look like for me and becoming who I needed? Okay. And that started with me not blaming the past. It's about reclaiming your present, right? Reclaiming your present. It's about learning how to speak kindness into yourself. And if you ever come into my midst and you ask me, how am I doing? I'm going to reply to you, I am amazing. How are you? Because I am. I'm speaking life into me because what? I am amazing. Absolutely. I know I'm amazing. I know I am enough. I am the I am for me. Who you are is up to you. That's totally up to you. So I speak kindness to myself. And then I'm just going to be honest. There are days where I just, like I said, my braids are not going to, these two braids are not going to last very long. And that is that piece of me that sneaks in there. But then I have to turn that around and speak that kindness into me. It's like, okay, baby, you done with those braids? That's okay, but you still beautiful. Go ahead and take them braids down and shake them locks out and show them what you're working with. Okay, do you? That is me speaking kindness into myself because I know me and I know that's a conversation we're gonna have. I'm still gorgeous. I'm still fly. I'm still gonna rock this until again it hits me. That's all right. Set boundaries that respect and protect your peace. Now that's something we're all constantly working on, and and like I said, people are weaponizing triggers, and I'm setting boundaries, and I get it. I get it. But when you're using it properly and you are being respectful of yourself and your time, there is a place for it. It is safe for you to say you're protecting your peace and setting your boundaries. All right. Actually, I'm going to show you this book that I got. I have it on audio, but I also bought it because I was making notes in it. Um, and by no means is this person like I've tried to reach out to this person so I can just have a conversation, because I love what she has written in here. But it says set boundaries, um, find peace, and it's written by Nedra Glover Twab. Right? Set boundaries and find peace. And I enjoy. I found this one at Thrift Books, and again, no one is giving me any royalties for promoting it, but it is something that is good if you're learning how to set your boundaries and find peace, and finding, reclaiming that piece of you, and reparenting yourself, learning to reparent yourself. I think that's a good place to start too. I think she has a podcast as well, if memory serves me correctly. But set your boundaries and protect your peace, right? Celebrate yourself without waiting for permission. This one I definitely had to learn. Let me tell you guys, if you guys remember the podcast from last year, I celebrated my 50th birthday and had my very first birthday party. My very first birthday party. I never had a birthday party until that day. Now I may have had a cake, and I honestly, to this day, I'm probably going to be honest, I really don't remember where I actually had a cake for me. So, and that's just me being transparent, right? Um, and actually thinking about it honestly. And I've replayed it, and my aunt was at the birthday party, and I was like, this is the very first birthday party I've ever had. I've never had a birthday party. And so my husband did a great job throwing me one. My youngest daughter and my grandson and my son-in-law were there. My aunt, my mom's sister came, and I had my dear friends, DJ Balo, Moni, Kathy Jefferson, which y'all all seen on the podcast, and you know, um, Mary Lisa, Monica. There's so many great people came, and it wasn't as big as my husband had hoped, um, and which made him sad because we invited so many people. But I told him, I said, this is celebrating me. And I loved it. Oh my gosh, I cried so much that day. Oh, it was so elating. It just made it still to this day makes my heart so warm. And I thank Nicole, at the events by Nicole Monet, who helped my husband with decorating, and it was just it was great. And I thank him, and I continue to thank him for that, because he celebrated me where no one else has ever celebrated me in that capacity. But he celebrated me, and it being married to him teaches me to celebrate myself, because that man will celebrate himself in a heartbeat. He'll celebrate that he didn't have road rage while in traffic. And I love that. And that's something I picked up from him, is celebrating myself without waiting for permission. And I'm going to share with you guys while we're talking, since I'm talking about celebrating myself and yourself without waiting for permission. I just got a great promotion on my job. So now I'm the assistant dean of nursing on my job. So I will be celebrating that, as well. So thank you for that. The other thing is rest without feeling like you have to earn it. That's another one that I had to really incorporate in my life, because I was always going, 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 going. My daughters will tell you, this is the most we've seen my mom, one, smile, do stuff for herself, and rest, because it wasn't something I did. I literally would go, go, go. I went to school. I was in school. I was working full time, um, twice over, as I leveled up in my degree. I started working more. So I was always home for the kids. So they always, and This is when I say I can pride myself on. I was so grateful. It made them mad because they didn't get to eat out very often, but they always had cooked meals. I always cooked something. Um, and even though it's probably something I threw in a crock pot, made big pan of macaroni and cheese, threw a roast in the crock pot and had some vegetable, whatever. But I made sure I was always home when they got home from school at least. And maybe my ex did help them with their homework, which pained me. But at least I was always there to put them to bed at night. And I love that, and talk to them about their day. So as much as I wasn't the perfect mom, I did do my best, but I never rested. I literally would like sleep for 2 hours, get up, study, or get them once they got to bed. I would go in there and study, and I'd be studying for hours on end, writing papers, and then get up, rest for a couple of hours, and get up and do it all over again. So now it's really weird to like I get tired and it's like, oh, I can go lay down and take a nap and no one's gonna want me to do something. I can do that. And it's okay. And for those who also don't know Dan, my husband, he is the king of naps. That man will disappear and take a nap in a minute. Okay. He will give himself that self-care. And I love that for him because Lord knows I know when that man need a nap. Okay. So he will go and he will take a nap. And I love that. And I've learned that from him. So thank you, Dan, for that. You've taught me many things about me as I am learning to reparent me. He's taught me how to respect my time, and my time is money. He taught me how to be kinder to myself. Definitely taught me how to really set those boundaries. If I don't want to go and do something, it's okay. And celebrating me. Definitely. Oh my gosh, that's whole celebrate me. And I love that song that it came out. Oh my gosh. That's like my anthem now. I celebrate me. Yes. Okay. So that's me. I'm going to celebrate me. Um and to rest. He's definitely taught me how to rest. And it's looking at your younger self and saying, I've got you now. I say all that because at the end of it, you can see the younger version. Like I look at the mirror and I see the younger version of me, and I just say, I got you. I got you, and you got this. And that's what that carries me through the day. Yeah. All right. So I, oh God, I don't want to cry. Sugars. I also want to take a moment for us to just for you guys to have a reflective moment. You heard about my some of my story, and celebration of self and reparenting ourselves and setting those boundaries, right? So you all take a moment. All right, I want you all to take a moment. Close your eyes if you want. If you don't, that's okay. Picture the younger version of yourself. See, I could say it and I don't have to because as you can see from just the tears, I saw the younger version of me when I said I got you. Because that's what the younger version of me needed to hear. I got you. Baby girl, let's do this. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes if you can, or if not, just look yourself in the mirror, or just take a minute and just envision the younger version of yourself. Maybe you're smiling, maybe you're playing, maybe you're not. But ask yourself, what did you need the most? That little person in you. I'm going to ask little Diana, and I've asked little Diana often, what did you need the most? Was it love? Was it safety? Encouragement? Or maybe just to be heard? Now, ask yourself, how can I give that to myself today? How can I give that to myself today? The power of showing up differently is powerful. Healing doesn't look like these huge breakthroughs, right? So that's why it's important to take that moment. How can I give myself? How can I give that to myself today? The power of being heard, encouraged, being safe, wanting to be loved authentically. How can you give yourself to that today? Yeah, think about it. Ooh, all right. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? I would like to welcome you to a show that is called Cruise with Rob C, exclusively on WUBI Ubiquity Radio every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. My name is Rob C, and while taking your cruise, you will hear the very best in smooth jazz, smooth R&B, classic soul, as well as other genres that definitely define the very essence of smooth. I personally invite you to come aboard, and while you're here, grab your favorite beverage, turn up the volume, and have a seat as we set sail on this musical journey for your listening pleasure. You can find us at wubi.live, or depending if you have an Apple or Android device, go to your app store and download our free WUBI app. Take care.
Hey everyone, Dr. Diana Collins here with the Soulful Eclectic, a podcast about being your authentic self and maintaining your health and wellness, brought to you by Divine Nubian Essentials, Love the Skin You're In, and also Collins Education Resource Management, where healthcare education is our passion. If you're looking for a new read, check out our friend Reggie Dupree in Hoodoo Heaven, Return to Hoodoo, and Mystical Midlife Mate, because everything is happening in Hoodoo, brought to you by WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. If you have not downloaded your app on Roku or Apple or Google Play, do so right away. The Soulful Eclectic can be found every Friday night, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on all your podcast streaming platforms, WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. So, see you soon. Namaste. Hey guys. So, a little snippet of what I was talking about before we left off was the power of showing up differently, right? Like healing doesn't show up like some big breakthrough, like a huge, like we have those many aha moments, but it's not like this poof, right? Kind of thing. So sometimes it looks like saying no when you're used to saying yes, right? Yep. It's something as little as that. Sometimes it's choosing to take that nap and rest instead of burning yourself out. It's all right. Let's take a rest and then we can relight that candle later. All right. Sometimes it's walking away. Ah, that is so powerful. Walking away. Walking away from what no longer aligns with you. That one right there. And that's the hardest thing to do because a lot of us are people pleasers, right? We are so hell-bent on not making people mad at us and wanting to be liked by each other. And oh my gosh. And as soon as there's like one thing that happens, it's like our whole world is like, oh my God, what did I do? What happened? Right? So walking away from what no longer aligns with us, stop feeding something that we see. I'm the queen of feeding potential. I'm just gonna let y'all know. I used to see the potential in people and try to make them be the things that I see that they're capable of being. And I'm like, you know what? Why am I doing all the work? This is not my testimony. This is not my ministry. Why do I care too much about what you should be doing and what would look good for you? Nah, that's not in alignment with me because I'm in a different lane. So learning when and how to walk away from what no longer aligns. And sometimes it is just healing quietly, right? Healing is quiet. It's not loud. People can't recognize when you're healing, right? Because we're constantly just doing the work to be better. They see it and they notice it, but they don't think it's healing. They just think you've changed. When actually what you're doing is healing and giving what the little person in you needs. And that saying no to somebody else could be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? All of a sudden you don't like, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to do it because you're trying to guilt me into doing it. No, I don't want to. And that's okay. You don't have to do or be everywhere for everybody. And that is something that I had to learn. And today it's still learning a little bit. Okay. So sometimes healing is just quiet, but it is powerful. And believe me, those first few no's are powerful. And you probably lose a few friends out of it because, oh, she's changing. Oh, what the hell? We used to do all these things and now we don't do it. What is that about? It's about you setting boundaries. It's about you protecting your peace. It's about you healing the little version of you. So you do what you need to do. And like I said, it is powerful because everything and every time you choose yourself, you are rewriting your story. You're rewriting your story. And what that chapter looks like, what you wrote yesterday could be something totally different today. Believe me, my chapters have constantly rewritten. Oh my gosh, constantly. So, in that, I want you all to take a nice deep breath. And your affirmations for the day is I give myself the love I once needed. I give myself the love I once needed. I honor my younger self with compassion, not judgment. I honor my younger self with compassion, not judgment. I am safe to grow, heal, and become. Yeah. So always remember you are allowed to meet your own needs. You are allowed to meet your own needs. You have that capacity now because you're an adult. You can meet your own needs. If you need healing, you have the tools. You know where to get the tools to start healing yourself. You need safety, you know how to make yourself safe. You know how to find those safety. It's you now. You are allowed to meet your own needs. And healing is not about perfection. It's not perfect. It's about presence. Healing is not about perfection. It's about presence. And your younger self deserves compassion, not criticism. Yeah, I know. I used to criticize my younger self all the time. You should have been better. You should have did this. Why'd you do that? Oh, no, no, no. My younger self needed compassion, and it deserves compassion. And that's what I give my younger version of me. Compassion. I no longer criticize the younger version of me. And lastly, you don't have to carry what was never yours. Nope. You don't have to carry what was never yours. Why are you carrying that? That stuff is heavy. I'll be damned. You can put that away. That does not belong to me. You can't carry the burdens of your mother because those are not yours. They're not. You can't carry the burdens of your father. They're not yours. You can't carry the burdens of your child. That's not yours. You can only carry your own burdens. You can't carry what's not yours or what was never yours. Just saying. So, with that, if this episode spoke to you, share it. If you find someone who can use a few words of kindness and some beginnings of self-direction to healing, please share it. Share it with someone who may need this reminder. And take the time this week to show up for yourself differently, because you deserve that. You deserve that. All right. So with that, I'm going to leave you with your healing. It is happening. It's happening. It's happening now. And I thank you guys for showing up. I thank you for sharing. I thank you for caring enough to tune in. And I appreciate you. And again, I thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you want to be a guest on a show, please feel free to reach out. If you haven't tried Divine Nubian Essential Products, I don't know what the heck you waiting for. Because it is definitely loving the skin I am in today. And also, if you are just looking for a new read, check out Reggie Dupree. I have another author I really need to get on here, but she's hard to get a hold of. That's okay. I'm still trying. Jessica Cage, I'm going to get you. But yes, I love it. Get my authors on here because they are amazing. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being present, for listening to the story, for being a part of the journey of healing and setting boundaries and finding your peace and being kinder to the inner little person that was once you. All right. So take care of yourself and each other. Namaste.